Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and I'm still playing level 7. And I'm pretty sure this is my last video of this series, and it's looking actually really good. We have here the first panel room over here, and that is connected by a very long vent. As you can see here, the vent entrance is here, so it goes like this and it goes on here and then like this all over here, and it goes actually let me see, it goes up to here. So there is the other vent exit, and here am I. So from here I can move down here in one turn. That's a pretty good thing. And because I found my map fragment over here, I know what the next tiles are, and the next two tiles will be the remaining two panels. So all I gotta do is explore them, activate them, and after I've activated the third panel, lockdown will be initiated, but then I got 4 turns left to move back here into the elevator, which should be no problem. Okay, so let's explore the last room, and let's move here. So I draw another tile, and yeah, as I said, this is another panel tile, and it is also a storage room, the hardware storage. So we might find something useful here, and we place it like this, and there is also the vent going on, but I think we will have to go back here, although I'm not absolutely sure about that, to enter this ventilation system. And now I'm allowed to draw an item because it's a storage room. So let's see what that is. That is a stun stick. Gain 2 strength while attacking or bull rushing. So that could be useful. Bull rushing means basically that you run through a horde of enemies. So you can move through them. And well, actually we could move on because there is no event here, and it's a movement action, so I think we can actually enter the next room, although I'm not absolutely sure if this here counts as an action. I gotta check that. Okay, I'm pretty sure that drawing an item card when entering a storage room does not count as an action. And even if it would, I could move on because you can do an action between your movements. As long as I don't have to draw an event card, I can move on. And because there is none of these special event tokens like that one, yeah, I can simply move on. So let's do that. Okay, and this is now the last one, the auxiliary station, and here we have another panel. So let's see. Yeah, let's place it this way here. Okay, so we are now in here, and now we have to draw an event card. This is a fear room. So let's see what we find here. So we have to spawn a clone. And clones are always spawned in the next fear room, so this will be actually the same room. And then it says, what was that screaming? Move a guard 1 tile in any direction. Remove a guard that shares a tile with at least 1 clone. Gain 2 fear. Okay, so gaining fear is not that great in this case, so we will gain these 2 fear. And then we can move a guard one tile in any direction. So I guess I'm gonna move that guard simply here. And then it says remove a guard. It doesn't say it has to be the same one. So we can now remove this guy because it's on the same space with a clone. Okay, and then we have to activate all the clones. And let's see. The first one is the one that is with us on the same tile. So let me see if I can... Well, I could play that one here. That would give me even more fear. It's not so good. Damn. Well, I guess I will play this one. Gain 1 fear at any time. That gives me +2 for my toughness points. So I got now 3 toughness points. And the clone attacks. Because I got so much fear, he's allowed to roll 4 dice. Okay, so I lose 1 card here. Wait. Okay, I guess I'm gonna throw away that one. Okay, and yeah, this is, oh yeah, and then the second clone is activated, and it's an interesting question now. Will he move to these 2 guards or to that one? I don't know, I gotta check that. Okay, actually this is not a problem. There is no conflict because the clone would not move, he would not try to hunt down the guards because he would try to hunt down me because I have a much higher fear level. So that means the clone will go in my direction into this room, and here he is now facing that guard. Okay, so that was then the end of that turn, and I'm allowed to draw an adrenaline card. And then guess before I activate these panels, which would be also an action, I want to get rid of this clone. I don't want him to get activated again. So I'm gonna attack him, and damn it. So I'm gonna I have 2, 3 because of my high fear level, and then 2 because of this stun stick. So I can roll 5 dice. No, wait a second, that's actually wrong. And then I got this one because of the amateur boxer. So I can actually roll 6 dice. And that was very good. These are now 6 successes, and that means it's an exceptional success. So because it's double the number of hits I would usually need to stun this guy or to win that fight. And that means I didn't stun him, but I killed him. So he is removed now. And now I could move. I could also try to lower my fear. But that's pretty hard. I don't have very good cards to do this, actually. I could play these cards, of course, but they only bring down my fear by 1. On the other hand, the problem is if I don't do it, because my fear is now higher than 7, or is 7 or higher, a clone would be spawned in here, which is not so great. It's also not so bad. Many different decisions. I think I will not spawn. I think I will not discard a card. Try to live with that fear for now. And wait for the next round. Okay, so I simply stay there. And then I draw another event card. And we don't have anything spawned. And now I'm going to check if there is a clone spawned right now. So I'm not absolutely sure. It says if the current character sphere is 7 or more, spawn a clone on the closest vent in addition to any other enemies the event spawns. So the event doesn't spawn any enemies. Does that mean you don't have to spawn a clone? I don't think so actually. So I will spawn that clone on this vent now. And then we don't have another event because we already had one here during the last turn. And then we have to activate one guard, or all guards basically. And we start with this guy, and he now attacks this clone with 4 dice. And that's a bad hit. So the clone is killed. And then the other guards follow him, and they basically try to get this clone because it has a higher threat level than I have. Okay, and then we can discard that event card, and I can draw another adrenaline card. Great. At the beginning of the next turn. And now it's actually time to access the first panel. And here we have now some special rules. So that is scenario 2. When you access the control panel, no, wait a second. Here, it starts here. The challenge rating is 3. Yeah, you must pass intelligence challenges on 3 tiles with control panel icons to get the B-lift working again. The challenge rating is 3 plus 1 for each accessed control panel marker in play. Okay, so right now it's only 3, which is bad enough. I just have a challenge. I got an intelligence of 3. Okay, so I guess I want to try that right now. And it says if you fail the challenge, you gain 1 threat. If you fail by 2 or more points, start lockdown immediately. Okay, so that means we don't want to fail that by 2 or more points. So that much is clear for now. Do we have an option to reroll anything? No, we don't. So I guess I will actually play this card, lose 1 fear. There is 1 threat left. So we could take 1 more threat token. Before actually a lockdown is triggered. So okay, we'll see about that. So I roll 4 dice, try to activate this this panel. Shouldn't be such a big deal. Okay, that wasn't so bad. I have 4 successes. So now I can actually place this control panel marker here on that tile. It looks really weird, I think. I mean, if you compare that to the great art you have here, then you have, I don't know, that looks kind of weird. Looks like from some, it looks really like it is taken from a different game or so. So strange. Okay, anyway, so let's see what happens now. Here, when you access a control panel, spawn a guard on the closest control panel tile that has not yet been accessed. Okay, so let me see. The next guard is guard number 3. It's this guy. Oops. And he will be spawned then here. Add 1 to the guard reserves for each assessed control panel marker in play. So that means from now on there can be 5 guards in play at the same time. And my turn is over now. I could actually move into this room, but I'm not sure if I want to do that. So for now the turn is over, and I'm gonna draw another event card here. And okay, so nothing is spawned, but another one of the clones is spawned in here because my fear is so high. We have no event, and all guards are activated twice now. So let's see. First guard is actually this one. He moves here. The second guard is that one. He moves here. Then the third one moves in here, and the fourth one moves here. Then we have again the first guard moves in here, and second guard here. And now this guard will attack these clones. And because there is now an addition, or at least one of them, and because there is an additional guard in the room, and because the rooms have a threat of 4 or higher, we can roll now with 2 additional dice. So we roll with 5 dice. And that was a success, 4 hits. So they managed to kill 1 clone. And then finally, guard number 4 is activated, and he moves into this room here. Okay, so that is the end of this turn. Okay, so this is now the situation. Here we have the fight of the clones and the guards. Here we have the following guards. And this is now this other empty control panel room. And, well, let's hope we draw a good card here. And that is not bad. Lose 1 fear to gain an additional intelligence. So let's hope for the best here. We can now enter this room with 1 movement point, and then we have now to make a 4 intelligence test, which is not easy at all. The good thing is we will lose 1 fear by playing this card. So there are no new clones spawned. That can also be a disadvantage, because that means the guards will go after me. And then, damn it. We simply have to hope that we can do this. So now we have 2, 3, 4 dice, and we need 4 successes. And that was not good enough. We only had 3. Shit. Okay, so that means now that we have to take a threat token. Okay. That's not good. Not good at all. And then we draw an event card. Nothing is spawned, and the clones are activated. and they are in the same room as the guards are, so they will attack a guard, and they will simply roll 3 dice. Whoa! That was a bad hit, so one of the guards is killed, which is not so bad for me. And now it's me again, and I better draw a good card now. No, that's not good. Okay. So my problem is now, basically, it doesn't make a lot of sense to damn it. Somehow I must try to lose fear. On my turn. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw away 2 cards. Because if I'm down here, I got a +1 intelligence. So I'm going to lose these. I'm going to throw away these 2 cards, and I lose 2 fear. So my fear is now 4. And it's going to be really hard now. And I cannot risk this next attempt, because if I fail, there is nothing in the threat pool left, and then lockdown is initiated, and I'm really in trouble then. So I'm going to draw an event card now, and that means that another guard is spawned in the next security room, which is this one here. So we will see this guy here, and then we don't have any event, and the clones are activated. And it's now good, because if the clones start killing this guy, then they will all, if the guards kill him, then they all go after me. So it's definitely a good thing as long as this clone is activated and kills some guards. So let's see, we have now, the clone has 3 dice and attacks one of these guards. And that was not good enough. Okay. So, and then it's me again, and let's hope for a good card here. Damn it. Okay. Okay, again I think I will do nothing. I could play that one, lose 1 fear at any time, move 1 guard, 1 tile in any direction. Okay, so I simply take this guard and move him here. And play that card, and I lose 1 fear. And I want at least 5 dice to do this. So, I mean, you can really imagine how I'm standing before this panel trying to concentrate, while in the room next door you hear shooting and screaming, and it's so hard to calm down and bring your adrenaline down, while all this horror is going on right next to you. But I cannot access this panel otherwise, so I have to calm down. Okay, let's see what kind of event happens now. Well, another guard is spawned, and he cannot be spawned here now because there are already 2 guards. So it is not possible. So we have to spawn him in the next closest security room, and that would be then one of these 2 rooms here. So let's see. Let's simply take this one here. Oh, maybe that one actually. So, and then all guards are again activated. We start here with guard number 1, and he will attack that clone now. And he's got 5 dice, so I'm afraid he will be successful here. And yeah, he was. Sadly, he was. But this card here was now also activated, because they attacked both that clone. That gave him this additional dice. So they were both activated now. Okay, and now guard number 2 will be activated. This is this one. And he would now move to me, because I'm the only remaining enemy. But he cannot enter this room because there are already 2 here and there is this pack limit. So then guard number 3, he has already activated. He also won't move. Guard number 4 moves in here. And then number 5 moves here. And time is running out. So they killed this guy. No more shooting. And now they're after me, which is definitely not good. So we better manage to activate that stupid panel in the next turn. Let's hope for a good card now. Shit. Okay, well, that's interesting now, because it says you can reroll up to 2 challenge dice. So that could work. It's damn risky, but I'm gonna do it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to discard 1 card. Here. So that gives me an additional die when doing an intelligence test. And now I actually have 4 intelligence tests. This one, these 2, and that one. And I could reroll 2. So let's see. We have now 4 dice. Yeah, let's hope for it. We need 4 successes. Let's see. Okay, so we got 3 successes, so we can reroll this one. And yeah, it's not so easy now. It's interesting. I'm actually not sure what's the better idea, to reroll 2 dice or to reroll 1. This is not really... Well, we have to calculate that, at least try to. Yeah, I think it's better to keep this and to reroll only 1. Okay, let's hope for the best here. We need 1 intelligence icon, come on. Otherwise, this lockdown would be initiated. And by the way, we have to play this card now. On your turn, gain 2 fear. You bet. And yeah, so I'm pretty nervous, and just kind of after my first attempt to access this panel didn't work everywhere. The lamps went on, some weird red control lights. So I'm just pushing the last button, just hoping it's the right one. And yes, it definitely was. Absolutely perfect. So great, we managed to access this control panel too. No lockdown here. Damn, that was close. And I mean, I'm nearly dead, I know that. But even if or not killed, but KO'd. But even if I go to the infirmary right now, it would not be so bad. I could come back here. And I could come back right here. So it's all good. That was an important one. And okay, so now another guard is actually spawned. There is no one in the reserves, but there will be a new one, an additional guard now in the reserves, because I managed to activate that that thing. Let me see, where is that? Here, this is guard number 6. It's this guy. And he will be spawned in the access panel room which is left, which is this one down here. Okay. Okay, so that was definitely interesting, and I could move now. I could do that. I could move through the vents. I didn't do that until now, so I could move now from here to any other room. I could enter, for example, this room. The problem is if I will move here, I'm on the same space like as the guard is, and that will be pretty risky. If I stay here, then these guards might be activated, go here, and it's going to be not so easy to move away from there, to outwit them, because to do this I would need a 4 intelligence test, and that is not so easy because I don't have any cards that can help me here, and I don't know. But I think it might be a good idea for now to move somewhere else. I don't know, actually. Damn, I could end up here. I could not end up here. It's really hard to say. I could move here. I think this is not so bad. And then if the guards come closer, I could simply run away and go here, for example. The problem is there is always this security event triggered, which is not exactly great. Actually, I was too optimistic here. I cannot do this because there is no vent entrance here. Damn, there is only a vent entrance here. In this room, right there, you see. So I cannot do this. Damn it. Okay, there is nothing I can do right now. I'm afraid I have to try to outwit them, and I'm afraid I will be KO'd then. But in the end, that might not be so bad. Okay. So let's do this event check now. Okay, another clone is spawned, which is interesting. So this is actually this guy, and he is spawned here because this is the next vent. I could also spawn them here. I'm not sure where I have to spawn him because it says I have to spawn him in the closest fear room. So this is actually a fear room, but for spawning in this scenario, vents are also treated like fear rooms. So I guess in this case I can choose, and I'm gonna place one here, I guess. Damn it. I think I prefer that. And then the clone is actually activated, so that means he will attack one of the guards. And that was a hit. So he managed to kill one guard, which is good for me. Okay, so let's draw another adrenaline card. I'm pretty badly hurt, but let's see what we gain. Well, that is an interesting card. Gain 3 fear, you can reroll up to 3 challenge dice. That could be a very strong card for our last access panel, but I'm really not sure what to do now. I mean, I could enter this room, and I think it is actually the best I can do. I will move into this room. I have to do it one time anyway. So I will move in here. But I don't know. I mean, if the clone is activated, it will attack me right away. Maybe I shouldn't do it right now. The problem is, if I enter this room, I just remember that right now, if I enter this room with my stun stick, then I have to take a threat token, because if I enter a room with a weapon and a guard, when a guard is inside that room, then I have to take a threat token. And that would, because there are no threat tokens left, that would initiate lockdown. And I'm not ready for that. So I think I have to stay here, have to recover, and then maybe I can do it. For now, I simply do nothing. I wait, draw another event card. So nobody is spawned, but the clones are activated twice. Okay, so the first one rolls a die, and that's definitely a hit. So now this guard is killed, and now this clone is actually moving after me, because my fear, although that is not so sure actually, the guard's fear, yeah, there is a tie break now. The guard's fear is also 4, but I think if the fear is the same, it would move to the closest player, which is also, they're both in an adjacent space. And that is also the same. If distant is the same, then the clone will move to the player whose turn it is. Or not. Well, let me see. The enemy chooses between them and based on turn order, starting with the current player. Yeah. Okay, so that means he would move to me. Damn. Okay, so let's see. I can draw another card now. That's a good one. So I could, for example, play that card to lose 2 fear. And it gives me also... Actually, I want to keep that card. Gain 1 fear. Damn. Okay, I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to kill this guy. And I'm pretty good in fighting. I got that stun stick that I can use. So I got now 3 plus 2. So that gives me 5 dice. And that should be enough to at least stun him. Yeah, that was close, but it was enough. 3 successes. So that guy is stunned now. And now I'm allowed to move out of this room in here. And if I'm lucky now and the guards are not activated during the next turn, then I could finally enter these vents. So that would be pretty cool. And if I'm even more lucky and draw another good adrenaline card, then I could actually start trying to access that last control panel. So let's see now what happens. An event. We don't want the guards to be activated now. Ah, shit. Okay. So first of all, another guard is spawned. So that will be this one, and he is spawned right in my room. Damn. That's bad. Okay. Then guards are activated. So first, This guy is activated. And now it is pretty important again that we do this in the right order. If we would, for example, move first one here, then he would gain an additional die. But in this case, it's not the case. So now, yeah, I'm not sure what to do. Do I have anything? No, no, no. Great. Okay, so I'm just trying to survive this somehow. It's going to be hard. Got to be lucky now. I only have a toughness of 1, which is pretty bad, so I'm afraid this will not gonna end up well. So he attacks and that's it. Yeah, I gotta discard 4 cards. I only got 3 left, so that sucks. So okay, I'm now in the infirmary again. But that's not so bad after all. I mean, I can choose now where to come out, where to move out of the infirmary, and that can be then that has to be a tile with a vent, so I can choose to come out right here, which is cool for me. And we have to go on. I mean, this was just the first guard activation, and now it's actually interesting because now there is no target here, because the stunned guy is ignored, I think. So that means the other guards will not activate, which is sad because I hope this guard would move away from this tile where I want to go. But that's not the case. So anyway, now the clone. Oh, wait a second! I made a mistake here. I made a mistake. Okay, just a second. I made a very important mistake here because I took this one here for solitaire play, but we're playing with still a 2-player game, I guess. So that means that only the clones are activated, but I'm not sure about that. I gotta check that. Exactly, it clearly states, the rules clearly say that take the number of players that started the game. So that means we don't have to activate the guards, we only have to activate the clones. So we have to spawn a guard in this room, that's correct, right here, but we don't have to activate it. So I can keep my 3 cards, and now only the clone is activated, and that means he will simply stand up, and that's it for him. Okay, so, and now I can draw another card. Oh man. So that would allow me again to re-roll up to 3 challenge dice. That is not bad. I got 2 of these cards now. Okay. So what are we going to do now? So first, I guess I wanna run away from this guy. I wanna now move through the vents somehow. So that means moving through a vent does not end your turn. That could be very helpful, maybe. So first of all, I guess yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is I actually want to lose 2 fear now. I can do that with this card. I cannot give away one of my threat tokens, but I think that's not a problem. So I can lose 2 fear, and that gives me an additional die now. So I can roll now with 4 intelligence dice, and that would for the attempt to outwit this guard. And I need 3 successes because it's always the number of enemies plus 2. So in this case I need 3 successes. Yep, no problems here. So I can now move through the vents, and as I said, I can end up on any other vent exit that I want. So, of course, it has to be connected. So let's see. Where do I want to end up? Not sure. I could end up here, for example. There is nobody. The problem is, if I would end up here right now, which I could do actually. Oops. So if I would end up here, then I would move into a room with a weapon in my hand, and this room would contain a guard, and then I would gain a threat token, and because there are no more threat tokens, lockdown would be initiated, and the number of rounds would be limited to 4. So I don't want to do that right now. So my question is now, where do I want to end up? And the bad thing is, if I end up in one of these rooms, there will always be a security event triggered because of this red lined symbols here. Still, I think this is what I want to do. I don't see any other option right now, actually. Yeah, okay, so let's end up here, for example. Usually, if you move through the vents, you gain 1 fear. But because I got that flashlight, darkness and vent travel do not raise your fear. So in this case, it's pretty useful, actually. Another point is, after I moved through a vent, the turn immediately ends. So I have to draw an event card. And nothing is spawned. Sadly, we now have to do this event here. Take 1 for the team. A player of your choice gains 1 threat. Yeah, okay, that sucks now. That's really bad. Okay. Yeah, so we have to accept that now. That's pretty bad. We cannot cancel this. So that means a player would gain 1 threat. And that means that lockdown is initiated right away. So actually, I think I have to draw the first lockdown marker after this event card, which is pretty bad because now it's going to be really close. Okay, so what are we going to do now? Well, first of all, we have to activate the guards. And let's see. We have to activate all guards and then all clones, which is not so bad, actually. So first, this guy moves in here. He moves to the clone, because the clone is definitely the one with the highest threat token. And by the way, I forgot one thing. You can gain an additional threat token even if there are no more in the threat pool. It just says that when the threat pool is empty and you take a threat token, lockdown is initiated, but still you can gain an additional one. So the problem now is that, oh man, this is really bad luck. The problem now is that we have now 3 of these tokens, and the guards, the clones also have 3. So that means all these guards, they will go after him because he's the closest enemy. So he moves here, but the problem is that they will go now for me, which is pretty bad because I'm closer. Oh man, oh man, oh man, this is so close now. Okay. Let's see, what else can we do? The clone is also activated. He attacks that guard. and that is not enough to kill the guard. Okay. Yeah, okay. So now we need a good card. Oh, wait a second. I have to check if we have to remove a lockdown token now. Okay, so what I forgot. When lockdown is triggered, spawn one guard on each security tile and guard post, starting with those closest to the B lift. Okay, so that means now that the ones closest to the B lift are actually these. And I can spawn one of them, but there is only one left. There's only one in the reserve. So I cannot spawn one more than one. And there is now this one. This is the security tile, or that one. And I can choose which one I'm going to use. So, not absolutely sure actually. I think I'm going to take this one. But it probably doesn't matter. I guess the guard will be fast enough to make trouble here. Damn. I just wish there would not have been this event card which initiated lockdown. I was really unlucky there. Oh man. So let's see about this lockdown thing, but I'm pretty sure I have to take the first marker right now. Here we go, lockdown. Needs to gain a threat or when the game meets okay. Blah, 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 blah. Once lockdown begins, any player in the infirmary is immediately killed and loses the game. Okay, that's obviously important. Some scenarios, once lockdown has begun, in these scenarios, each player will draw a lockdown token from the lockdown pool at the end of their turn. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm afraid I have to take one right now. Okay. So, pretty bad now. Okay, so now I can draw a card, and I need definitely a card which allows me to raise my intelligence. Otherwise, I think I won't have a chance here. Yeah, that sucks. That is pretty bad. Okay, that's definitely not enough, I guess. Okay, what can I do now? So for now, I would have an intelligence value of 1, 2, 4. And I need 5 successes because I need 3 plus the number of activated intelligence panels. So it's going to be damn hard to do that. There is a little chance though. I mean, I can reroll up to 3 challenge dice. So I could try it anyway. And I don't have much time left. So I guess I will have to try this. I think there is no other way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move through this vent. I'm going to enter here again, move through here, and then here is also a vent, you see, and I come out here. And usually my turn would end now. Damn it. Ooh, okay, but not this time. Damn, this is so risky. I really don't know if I should do it. I mean, I could play now this card. On your turn, gain 1 fear. Moving through a vent does not end your turn. So that would allow me then to try to activate this panel. And the problem is, if I gain 1 fear, I only have 3 fear left. And to make a 5 fear check, a 5 intelligence check, I only have 4 intelligence left actually, and to make a 4 intelligence check, actually I only have 3 left, yeah. To make a 4 intelligence check or a 5 intelligence check with 3 dice is so hard. So what I could do is, man, this is now a lot of dice rolling. What I could do is, I got 2 options in general. I could play that thing. I mean, I could play that card. I could also hope that the well, maybe that's the better option, actually. Okay, I think I know what to do. It's a little more aggressive, but I think it's definitely the better option. I think I still got enough time to do that. So let's imagine, so I'm here actually, okay. So let's see. The basic idea would be, I mean, I got a speed of 2. I can play that card later on. I can play that card. And that means I could gain 1 additional speed, and I can play also that card. So that would mean I had a speed of 4. And that would mean I could run from this room right to the elevator in 1 turn. That's possible. It's not such a big deal. I can do that. The problem though is, well, I'm thinking about entering this room and attacking the guard. I mean, right now it doesn't matter if I have to take any more threat tokens. Lockdown is initiated, so who cares? So I could attack this guard, and I'm pretty good because I'm a boxer. I got that stun stick, so I think that's a pretty safe thing that I will manage to hit this guard. And then in the next turn, I can enter this panel room, and I can activate that panel. And then I have still 4 dice, and I could play these 2 cards and reroll 3 challenge dice. And I could do this twice. And maybe I'm lucky, and hey, who knows? I mean, maybe I'll find a good card in the next turn. Or maybe even some great item. I mean, I don't know what kind of items there are. Maybe I'll find some security card or something that allows me to access that panel for free, or I don't know what we find there. So I guess this is what I want to do. That would be my first turn, then that would be my second turn, and then I have to be successful with my second turn. And then in my third turn, I could run right here. But this has to work then. So I have to activate this panel. Absolutely necessary. But I think it's still my best chance. So this is what I'm going to try. I'm going to enter this room, and then I'm going to attack that guard. And that gives me now an additional threat token, which doesn't matter at all. And let's see, we got 3 dice plus 2 for that stick. gives me, oh wait a second, and I will gain another threat token because I entered that room with a stun stick. So that's a lot of dice now, and that was enough to knock him down, and that gives me now an item. And that's a scalpel, which is not that great. So yeah, I think I'm not gonna use that. I'm gonna simply place it here. Okay, so now we got to draw an event card. So nothing is spawned, no event. So clones are activated first now. So that clone will attack this guard over there. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. I think I can actually move on. This was just my first move. So now I can move on. Yeah, I forgot that. That was my action. Attacking this guy was my action. But I can move on. That's pretty awesome. Exactly. I entered the room. I stunned him. And then I could move on. Okay. So now the clone is activated actually. And he has now 3 dice. And that is no hit. So and then the guard here is activated, and he has 4 dice because the clone has 4 threat. Oh, that doesn't count. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. Bad hit. So the clone is killed. And now the other guards, they will all go after me now. So this is now the second one, he moves here. The third one is now, yeah, that's this one. This is a problem. So this guy will be a problem probably later on. Okay, and number 4 is moving here. Number 5 is moving here. And number 6 is recovering. And I have to take another one of these tokens here. And did I forgot one? I don't think so. No, I think it was okay. Okay, so now we come to the interesting round, to the critical action. Draw an adrenaline card, and that was amazing. That was a very good card because that gives me an extra die. An extra intelligence die. So this is definitely what I'm going to do. I'm going to lose 1 fear. Play that card. And now I got, let me see, 1, 3, 4. I got now 5 of these dice. So that's a lot. And I need now an intelligence test of 5. So I need 5 successes. And actually that should be possible. I mean, we can now play these things here, and we can re-roll up to 3 challenge dice. So it should be possible to do this now. Doesn't count, sadly. That would have been a good start. But again, I've lost my dice. I think we're going to place that thing a little more here. And that's it, actually. That's it. We got 6 successes. Fantastic. Okay. So that was pretty cool, but hey, I'm really cool now. No fear at all. Just clear, analytic mind. So it worked. Okay. So the last the last panel is now activated. Now all I gotta do is I gotta move back now to this room. And I still got 2 movement actions left, by the way. So from this room, because I didn't move this turn. So I simply move here and then here. And I can do this pretty cool. Don't have to use my cards. No need for that. I couldn't, because if I would, for example, move here and try to bull rush, so just run through him, that would be an action, and I can only do one action, and I did that already when activating this panel. So I think moving here is a good option. No need to rush. Okay, so let's draw an event card and let's hope it's not too bad. Actually, an activation of the guard would be not so bad, because then we could simply wit out in the next turn, but okay, whatever. I think we've won that. It was close, but I think we made it. Okay, so yeah, nothing is spawned, we don't have any events, and then clones would be activated, but there is no clone, and then the guards will be activated. So let's start. Number 1 moves here. We got guard number 2. We got guard number 3 now entering my space. Got guard number 4 right here. 5 and 6. Okay, fine. Yeah, okay. And now we actually come to the last turn, at least I hope so. Oh no, wait a second, I got to take a lockdown marker here. Okay, and well, what I can do is, first I can draw an adrenaline card, of course, and that's a pretty cool card. And I think I'm gonna attack that sucker and punch him. I can use this card now, gain 3 fear, 1, 2, 3. And so that means now I got 2, 3, 5, and even more, 2 more, so I got now 7 dice, and I need 3 successes to stun him. So that shouldn't be a big deal. Well, yeah, actually I killed him, I guess. Did I? Yeah, I did. I got 6 successes. That's enough to kill him. And yeah, well, I made it. I can draw another item now. Let's see what that is. Well, that would be another stun stick. But I don't need that. I can only carry 2 items, so no need here. And, well, then I'm going to move 2 spaces, and I enter the lift, and when I enter the lift, I manage to escape, and I have won that scenario. In the end, I think it was actually closer than I thought, basically because of this stupid event here, which forced me to draw another threat token, which initiated then lockdown. So I really was under pressure. And, well, I had now 1 turn left, actually. That would be okay. I had to take this one now, and then I could do another turn. But if I would not have done it in the next turn, game would be over. But okay, I made it, and was pretty cool. Okay, let's see. A few words about this game. The reviews were pretty mixed, maybe more going into a negative direction. At least I think many people were disappointed because there was quite a hype about this game, I guess. I mean, it's not... Wait a second, I found... Oh no, these are these cards, yeah. I think... because they had a very good, well, kind of advertisement video. It was just absolutely amazing. It was a real movie with, actors waking up in a dark facility, and it was really well done. So the tension was very high. You didn't see anything of the game in this video, but they tried to introduce you in the story with that movie, and that worked fantastic. So I think many people were really on the edge and couldn't wait to get their hands on that. And if you see the artwork, it's pretty amazing, actually. I think it looks good. The rooms look, well, all pretty similar. But on the other hand, I mean, that's part of this environment thing. I mean, you are in this underground facility, so obviously rooms look more or less the same. But they made it much better than, let's say, for example, Dungeons and Dragons board games, where every tile looks... I mean, you don't have much artwork in these games. Here, it looks cool. Every tile looks a little different, you know. I think no tile looks actually really the same. Maybe a few of these corridors do. But most of them have some special... have some specific details which distinguish them from others. The components, well, that's a point actually. That is definitely an issue. I think the components are basically fine. The tiles have a good quality, very good quality. The markers are fine. The cards, everything is good. But the problem is, at least here in Europe, they want for this game 70 euros, which is about $100. And I think that's ridiculous. I mean, you can expect that if this game had some great minis, then I would say, okay, it's worth it. And here, actually, minis would be really needed, because it can be pretty hard to distinguish the different characters or the guards and so on, especially if the lighting is not so well, then it's all more or less a dark flat stand, and that's it. So so minis would be great here. And if they decided to say, okay, we don't want to do any minis for that game, as some other companies do this, they say, okay, I don't want any minis in this game to make the product cheaper, less expensive, then I would say, okay, I can accept that. No minis, but a fair price. That would be okay. But to pay 70 bucks, 70 euros for a game which is basically only these cardboard tiles, that's, in my opinion, too much. So I definitely would have skipped this if it would not have been a present, and thanks again, Jeremy. I'm really now happy to have it in my collection. What I really like about this game is that it's pretty different from the other dungeon crawlers that I know. For example, the Dungeons and Dragons board games, or let's say, well, I don't know if we can call Gears of War dungeon crawl, but at least it's a little bit, it goes in the direction. I mean, you don't have any exploring there or so, but it's a little bit like it. Or even the new one here, Shadows of Brimstone. The point is here, what you don't do is, you don't try to run through these rooms and kill as many enemies as possible, and then try to grab some loot. This is something you don't want to do here. This is much more sneaky, and that's what you try. You try to keep your profile low. That's the important thing here. You don't want to gain threat tokens, which will happen if you attack guards. You don't want that to happen, simply because lockdown will initiate it, which will end the game if you have too many of the threat tokens. And in addition, if the situation comes up that guards and aliens will fight each other, if you have too many threat tokens, the guards will not fight the aliens, but they will try to gain you, to find you. So it's definitely an advantage to keep a low profile, have only a few of these threat tokens, maybe only your starting threat token, and that's it then. So just avoiding attacking the guards and just outwitting them, for example, can be much more useful than attacking them. It's also a great idea that you can sometimes manipulate these enemies with your cards, for example, or you can, I don't know, let's say I have a high fear but a low threat. Then I could, for example, lure a clone somewhere, and then the guards will go after that clone, and I can try to escape before they arrive, and things like that. I mean, there are really some interesting options here, and that makes this game pretty interesting and also pretty different from the other games. There is really this escape atmosphere, this theme where you try to explore this facility, try to avoid your enemies, and because I mean, if they really attack you, it can be actually pretty deadly. One attack might kill you, and so you really want to avoid a direct confrontation here. Another very interesting point are these vents. I really like them. I really like the way this vent system builds up when you place all these tiles, and it's just great that you can move more or less through a great part of the map just in one turn. That gives you a lot more options. That is much more interesting. And that is also part of this sneaky playing style. So that's another really good idea. Another issue that was pointed out by some people, and they said that was pretty bad, was that there was not enough, well, kind of theme on the cards. You know, I mean, they say, okay, I don't know, it's too simple to say gain one fear and then you gain an additional strength point and things like that. They wanted more theme somehow. I don't know what exactly they expected, but that was not enough for many. And but I think it makes a lot of sense, because you can, if you really try something hard, for example here, on your turn gain 3 fear, you can reroll up to 3 challenge dice. I think you can really imagine that you really want to accomplish something, and you get more and more nervous, and I mean, you can roll a lot of dice, but it costs you a lot of nerves to do that, a lot of fear, and I think that makes a lot of sense. You become more and more nervous, and yeah, I think it's a great idea. Same thing here. It makes sense for me. If your adrenaline is high, then you kind of get stronger, and you can easier beat up people, and if you're very calm, it's easier for you to concentrate, which gives you an additional intelligence point. I think that works absolutely fantastic, and I don't see anything here which is kind of anti-thematic. Absolutely not. It makes perfect sense for me. And then there was the same issue here with the cards. They said, well, there is no real story. It just sent attempt a 3 intelligence challenge. If you fail, gain 1 threat. If you fail by 2 or more, each other player also gains 1 threat. And that's just, well, there is no real theme in that. You just have to roll and fine. I heard this in many reviews, but this is simply not true. This is just part of the truth. If you read this here first, and there go the alarms, nice one, then you actually can imagine what happened. You know, I mean, there is this, you go through a room with cameras, and you try to sneak past these cameras, and if you make it, well, you are partly successful. If not, it's worse. You have all the alarms going on. Or here, get a hold of yourself. You aren't helping. Attempt the 4 intelligence challenge. If you fail, gain 2 fear. If you fail by 3 or more, each other player also gains 2 fear. Well, it makes sense. It's right behind you. Run. Roll a number of dice equal to your speed. Gain 4 fear minus 1 for each speed icon you roll. I think I can see a story there. I can see a situation there. I can see this. Well, I don't need something like an Arkham Horror, where you have when you have an encounter and you have, I don't know, 6 or 7 sentences which explains exactly who is involved and what happens and why you have to do this. I mean, it's nice if this is included in a game. I love it. I love Arkham Horror and I love the encounters there, and it's a great idea. But this also works for me. It's not a big deal. It's fine. And to say this game has no theme and tells no story is, in my opinion, simply wrong. I see it completely different. I think there is a lot of theme in here. The playing style just fits perfectly with the theme. The fact that you have to escape and all these sneaky things, that just is great. And yeah, the cards work great for me. I think it's all fine. My only critics are the components, especially the missing minis. Usually I'm not a person who says every game has to have minis, but here it would have been definitely useful. Okay, I think that's definitely... Oh no, another negative point. I forgot that. The rules. The rules suck. They definitely do. The rules are really not good written. Not well written at all. And the problem is here, they are really badly organized. I think this is the main problem. You know, they don't go in a order that you say, okay, if you have a turn, you start with, I don't know, your movement, and then you have your challenge things, and then you have your combat things. It's all, I don't know, it's all somewhere thrown together and mixed up, and then they came up with this. It's really hard to find a real order in this rule book. So there is now this revised rulebook done by Justin Alexander, which is really good actually. I think it helps, it makes things a lot easier. And this comes now in this kind of order that you have your actions together, and then you have the events, and then you have the the activation rules for your enemies. So basically, the games these revised rules follow the turn order, which makes a lot of sense to me. The problem with these revised rules is there are here and there some little details missing. It's not much. I think it's only, I don't know, I think I only found 1 or 2 things missing when I played that. But that's also kind of a problem because, so yeah, I mean, you cannot only read the revised rules. So I ended up reading these rules once. Then during the game, I usually use them because they guide you very well through the turn. But then it could happen that you remember something, there was this little detail and I couldn't find it here. And then it was good that I've read these rules, because I could look up this in here, which was not easy to find. And then, okay, yeah, now I remember there was this special rule here, and yeah. So you can imagine that was not perfect, but I can definitely recommend these revised rules. They make the game a lot easier. Okay, so that's definitely enough now. Level 7, really a good game, really great. If you manage to get it for a fair price, maybe a used copy or what, or maybe in the US it's not that expensive, I can absolutely recommend that game. Yeah, so hope to see you in one of my next videos. Until then, bye.